When we're building up to a game's release, companies will usually take one thing to focus on to really get people invested. So let's say your game is about oranges. Maybe you sing and shout about the skin of said orange or its juicy innards. Doesn't matter which direction you go, it's all about creating hype so people are excited. If, however, you do pick one of these, you also have to pay it off in the game. You can run your mouth about how great the segments of an orange are and have a gamer sit down and realise there's not one orange segment to see. And that's just nonsense. As is the intro to this video. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and this is 10 video games that totally wasted their biggest selling point. Number 10, Halo 5. You know what Microsoft did in the lead up to Halo 5's release? They sold a major conflict between everyone's favourite Master Chief and new boy Spartan Locke. There were loads of live action teasers that even went as far to show different outcomes of the feud. Sometimes Locke won, sometimes the Chief won, and the whole thing suggested there was going to be a huge reveal during Halo 5 that would make fans everywhere get out of their seats and scream with delight. Which is weird, but people are weird. That's a fact. As it turns out, this wasn't the case. Instead of some personal saga or a shocking reason as to why Master Chief was on the run, it was simply due to disobeying orders where Cortana was involved. Right. When the two do run into each other, they have a small fight, and then they just forget all that to continue to look for Cortana. Not sure you paid that one off, guys. Number 9, Brutal Legend. Man, to this day, this upsets me. When Brutal Legend was first announced, it looked amazing, and developer Double Fine was so confident, it constantly advertised it as the coolest video game world ever. And that seemed fair, too. Furthermore, it suggested you were just going to take a massive weapon and go around hacking and slashing your way to victory as metal blared in your ears and Jack Black quipped away. That, my friends, is perfect. And then it was released, and the reality was it was an RTS. What? That was not mentioned once during the build-up, then it takes up a good portion of the game. Plus, these battles were really hard and not fun. Just stupid. Number 8, Metal Gear Solid 2. I love Hideo Kojima because he's just a massive troll. Not only is Snake front and center for all the advertising for Metal Gear Solid 2, but even the first hour puts you in the man's shoes. This may as well have been called Snake the Game, the amount he was shoved down your throat. Then all this moves to the wayside and you're told, lol, you're actually this Raiden guy, and lol, he's a big whiny baby. Shut up though, because Snake is basically going to be your guide through the whole game and that's awesome, so give us your money. Metal Gear Solid 2 is still good and Snake would later be added in the re-release Substance version, but in terms of whether you think Raiden worked as intended or not, it's not what any of us were sold. And that's not cool. Number 7, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. When Activision revealed that Tony Hawk's was coming back in 2015, people were excited, so they should have been. This was going to be a carry-on of the franchise you remember. No bells, no whistles, just a sequel from a period that time forgot. Then guess what happened? That's right, it was utter twonk. Looking like the old versions is certainly not the same as playing as them, and the truth of the matter is that developer Robomodo couldn't pull it off. It was meant to be a love letter for the fans, and instead, it was a slap in the face. Number 6, Dark Void. Post Gears of War, every developer wanted a cover-based shooter. It was the in thing, so the trigger was pulled and all studios jumped in with glee. Airtight Games clearly realised that this idea was going to be overexposed very quickly, so changed things up. And it did that by introducing vertical cover. In short, this meant main man William Gray, what a rubbish name that is for a hero, was able to boost between cover points on both a horizontal and vertical plane. This had good intentions, but ultimately Dark Void wasn't able to pull it off, even though it was the centrepiece of the whole thing. Had it been well polished, this may have shifted the industry a bit, but instead it did absolutely nothing but exist. It was really boring, it was really dry, it repeated its one idea over and over again, and that's why no one talks about it anymore, apart from me right now. Number 5, Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness. This was so bad, most fans of Tomb Raider gave up after its release. I don't just mean with the franchise, I mean in general. They sat down for years as they tried to figure out what had happened and what they were meant to do next. The problem though was that The Angel of Darkness was meant to be Lara's next-gen debut, complete with great visuals, better gameplay, and a story that felt more adult. In the end though, we just got stealth, and then more stealth, where you just had to avoid being seen and take out enemies on the quiet. Because yeah, that screams Tomb Raider. You didn't even really raid any tombs. This was meant to be one of the PS2's shining lights, but it really wasn't. I'm not even sure it had a selling point, to be honest, and if it did, that fell down with everything else too. Number 4, The Order 1886. The Order was weird because there were so many mixed messages before it came out that no one knew what to think. It was clear it was going to be short, but it was also going to look amazing and feel like a shot of heroin to the face. Just make you feel utterly wonderful. Now, yes, it did look awesome and even today holds its own, but the game itself was a nightmare. repetitive boss battles, poor cover-based mechanics, and a story that mentioned knights versus werewolves but didn't go anywhere with it. The Order worked as a showcase of pure power, but didn't do anything else. It was all talk with little substance, and you gotta have the substance. Number 3, Titanfall. When Titanfall was announced, Respawn's Entertainment's big thing was the Titans, huge mechs which would stomp around with you behind the wheel. And who doesn't want that? You can fist bump and shout the whole time and feel like the king of robots. The issue came though when you got out of one of these beasts and realised the game actually played much better on foot. Sticking to the usual run and gun approach just felt more fun, and before long you thought twice about getting back in a Titan. That's not the worst thing to realise, as Titanfall was still good, but it seemed ridiculous in hindsight for a lot of the pre-release material to focus on this. So much more was here. Number 2, Arkham Knight. Everything about Arkham Knight revolved around who the Arkham Knight was. I mean, even the game was called Arkham Knight. And yes, we just have used Arkham Knight 4 times in 3 sentences. Go me. The problem was Warner Brothers decided to trick everyone by pretending AK was a brand new character. This prompted countless fan theories about who it could be, to which the publisher responded time and time again saying, no, it's not an old face, he's brand new, stop guessing. And then it turned out to be Jason Todd, who is not a new character and also the person all the fans thought it was anyway. Now this makes sense because Rocksteady just wanted to have some element of a surprise when this did come to light, but everyone involved should have just tackled it a lot better in the sense it was the whole focus of the game. It was hard not to just shrug your shoulders and walk away. It is still awesome though, so there. Number 1, Far Cry 3. This one is really weird. From posters to trailers to gameplay videos, a crazy man named Vaas was always linked to anything Far Cry 3 related. This was your main bad guy and he was going to make your life hell, or he would have done if he wasn't dead within what seemed like minutes. There's no build to it too, and it kind of just happens, plus you've then got loads of the game left, so why the hell was Vaas put in this position? You don't advertise Michael Jackson for a concert and then have Michael Ball turn up. Especially not today. Michael Jackson's dead. The point being, sell your game on the selling point.
Next up, we are straight back to Shadow Picard for another scene in which it's incredibly important to me that nothing bad ever happens to Lara's
YouTube. The unexpected frontier. These are the videos of WhatCulture.com. Its continuing mission to list strange new facts, seek out news and offbeat discoveries, to boldly go where no WhatCulture channel has gone before.
Hey, how would you guys like to start a Star Trek channel?
Hell yeah! No, sorry, how's he got a uniform? I've been asking for one for months now, and I'm
Spidey money, I'll be sipping jippers on the beach somewhere.
Hell yeah!
Is he even cold?
Hell yeah!
If I had any money, I'd be sipping jippers on the beach
Months I've been
somewhere.
asking for one.
Hell yeah!
If I had any money, I'd be sipping jippers on the beach somewhere.
Hell yeah!
If I had any money, I'd be sipping jippers on the beach somewhere.
Hell yeah!
If I had any money, I'd be sipping jippers on the beach somewhere.
Hell yeah!
If I had any money, I'd be sipping...
Hi, I'm Marcus Bronzy, new presenter for Trek Culture, WhatCulture's new home for all things Star Trek related. Now we've already got a bunch of great content like Adam Cleary's ups and downs for every new episode of Picard, and we'll of course have all of the lists and rankings that you know and love us for. Fancy yourself a Trekkie and want to contribute? Well, WhatCulture is hiring video editors and writers, so if you want to get involved, fire over a CV and cover letter to trekculture@whatculture.com. And while you're at it, don't forget to slap subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter. It would be a great dishonor if you didn't. I've been Captain Marcus Bronzy. Until next time, Kapla!